Hello again and welcome back. Today I thought I would make a video talking about my experiences so far living with a 50-item wardrobe. About 2-ish months ago, I pared down my wardrobe from I think 120 items down to 50 items for the entire year. So I wanted to talk about my experiences, what's been going on in my head, some of the benefits that I've noticed, and what I think my next steps might be. Now, one of the first things that I noticed, and this seems like a fairly obvious point to bring up, but it's how easy it is to pick out my clothes every morning when I wake up and whenever I'm preparing to pack for a trip. Everything in my closet are my favorite items, so it's wonderful to open my closet every day and see only items that I love and that I know I'm going to look good in. Now, my closet is organized by sleeve length and then color, so every morning I open my weather application, determine if it's a sleeveless, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, or long sleeve day, and I pick out a top and a pair of pants. And that's the entire process. Now, I've also traveled a little bit since I've had just 50 items of clothing in my wardrobe for the entire year. So I think the longest trip was to Chicago for 6 days. So I just selected 6 tops and 2 pairs of pants, and I set them in the closet in their own little designated space, and I rolled them up the day of the trip and tossed them in a backpack. It was really a no-fuss situation, and because everything in my closet is curated to go together, I didn't have to spend a lot of time worrying about whether or not something was going to match or planning outfits before the trip. It was really a grab and go situation. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I think it bears repeating. Before my most recent clear out of my wardrobe, I had this weird tendency of not wearing the things that I liked the most because I thought that that meant I was somehow like preserving them and saving them for a special occasion, even if they weren't special occasion wear. Now I let myself wear all of my favorite items. I kind of have to because those are the only things I own. Another thing I've been enjoying is having a cohesive wardrobe. When I was zeroing in on what I wanted my wardrobe to be, it was really important for me that all of the items look like they belong to the same person, they all have the same vibe and personality. Basically, I wanted it to look like they all belong to the same store sitting next to each other. Now, maybe you have more eclectic tastes and you like mixing and matching certain things, and that's totally fine, but I personally am really enjoying the uniformity. It's exactly like opening my closet every day and seeing a curated selection of hand-picked items for me. That's really what it is. So I don't feel in any way deprived by having a smaller wardrobe. In fact, it feels really nice. The next thing I want to mention is that laundry is now a breeze, and I'm more inclined to take care of my clothes. Before I pared my wardrobe down most recently, I had this chair in my bedroom next to a full-length mirror, and I would try to treat that like a ballet stand and just put items of clothing on it that I had worn and thought I could wear again instead of throwing it directly into a laundry bin. But in reality, this was just a giant exposed laundry pile. So now my new rule is that if an item that I've worn doesn't go directly into a laundry bin, I hang it back up and I put it in the closet away from my clean clothes, but I hang it back up in the closet so that it doesn't get wrinkles and I'm more likely to be able to get another use out of it. So something like pants, I'll wear 2 to 4 times a week before I wash them, and a top that I wear to work during the week, I can hang back up and maybe get another use out of over the weekend before I have to wash it. I also now take better care of my clothes. I try to not launder things super frequently. I use a quick wash setting sometimes on my washer whenever I do need to wash things. I might use the steam cycle on my dryer for others. And I try to take better care of my shoes, which for me basically means not chucking them straight into my closet where they're going to fall into a pile on top of each other and become misshapen. I wipe them down if they need it, and I display them nicely in my closet because I want them to last me a long time. Speaking of closets, our closets are kind of crap. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but we have these reach-in closets where half of the space is taken up by these blind corners, so it's not really visible or accessible. So my husband and I have been working with a contractor to reconfigure the closets and change some things in the bathroom, and we need to select final materials for the bathroom before the ball can really get going, which is our bad. But anyway, once we have our closets reconfigured, I think my wardrobe will use that space nicely. Counting the items of clothing that I own is a new thing for me, and I don't really care about the number of items of clothing that I have. I care about clothing density. So once our closets are reconfigured, I think my clothing will be enough to fill the space while still giving everything room to breathe. So all that to say, I don't think I need to do a whole lot more paring down of my wardrobe, at least for now. I want the work on the closets to happen, and then I can go from there. Another thing I've discovered is that even with just 50 items of clothing for the year, there are still pieces that I don't reach for all that often. There are things that I just naturally gravitate towards more. I think part of this is because at any given moment, there are going to be things that are not seasonally appropriate. Also, there are definitely things that I reach for more often because they are part of uniforms that I've established for myself. So I wear a lot of black tops with dark denim. I wear a lot of striped tops with black pants, or really anything with black pants, but those are some of my go-to no-brainer uniform outfits, so I reach for those pieces a lot. And I won't lie, there are some pieces that I know are less versatile than others, but right now I'm kind of okay with that. I don't feel the need to get those out of my closet immediately, but I think it's good that I'm able to identify pieces in my wardrobe that maybe down the road I would be okay with parting with or at least replacing. My final observation is that I save a lot of time and money by not shopping. Now, it's taken me a long time to get here, but I'm really happy with my wardrobe. It works for my lifestyle. So now whenever I think about shopping, I operate on a one in, one out kind of principle. So if I see something that catches my eye, I ask myself, what from my current wardrobe would I get rid of to make room for this new item? Or what item am I willing to replace to buy this new thing? And so far, a lot of times the answer is nothing, which means that that new item isn't better than something I currently own. So I'm able to make the most environmentally responsible decision out there and just not buy more clothes. All right, those are the major themes of my discoveries over the last 2 months of owning and living with just 50 items of clothing for the entire year. So I hope you've enjoyed this little glimpse into my brain and my thought process, and I will see you next time.